I'm with Nadeem Hazboun from the Bethlehem Icon School here in Bethlehem. Now, Nadeem, what is the Bethlehem Icon School?
Well, Paul, the whole vision started in 2010. Ian Knowles, who's a British iconographer, came to Bethlehem, and he had an idea in his head to start an icon school to teach icons here, because he always believed that iconography started here. With the help of Anton Mansour, who gave us the place here in Hosh Abu Jarour in Star Street, and we started doing courses, painting icons, doing commissions. We've been here 6 years now, and we've been helping local Palestinians study for free, and we also do commissions, and we've been to Lichfield in England, and we're trying to help the Christian community here.
Was there anything like this before Ian came and started this?
No, actually, if you look into the history of iconography, it stopped for many years. There's many schools in Russia and Poland, but actually there's not one school that teaches iconography in the whole of the Middle East. So we're the only one that teaches iconography.
What is an icon?
An icon is like a door to heaven. It's a painting. Actually, we say write an icon and not paint an icon, because it's very sacred, and it's not just free art. We don't just paint an icon. We embrace God by painting the icon, and we do prayer with it. So you have to be Christian. You have to believe in what you're writing and painting, so it would be closer to God. So an icon is like a door to heaven. It gets you closer to God. When you look at an icon, actually it looks like a door with the frames, because it gets you closer to God, so you can pray and be closer to your God. So the whole point actually is an icon is, the whole process of an icon is very natural. So if you look at the icons, you can see, when you look at, let's say Jesus, when you look at an icon of Jesus, you don't see Jesus smiling or sad. You see Jesus looking at you with no expressions. Because when you go pray to Jesus, let's say when you're happy, you don't want to see Jesus sad, or when you're sad, you don't want to see Jesus happy or smiling. So the whole point of painting an icon, it's not just free art, but to embrace God and be closer to God.
Now, you run icon painting courses. Can anyone paint an icon, or do you have to be a particular artist?
Actually, yes, anyone can paint an icon. It has its traditions, its geometry, and its rules. You follow the traditions, and you pray with it. Now, it depends. If you have the talent, you can be better in no time. You can paint better icons, bigger icons. If you're less talented, it would take you more time. But anyone can do it, because, as I said earlier, it's different than free art. You follow the rules, the traditions, and painting icons has its traditions. So every icon has its story in the Bible or a saint. So, as I said, you get closer to it, and it has to be holy.
Is it just about painting, or is there a lot of research before you start the painting?
Actually, yes, you have to pray and to do your research to get closer to God. Like every icon has a story. Like, for example, one of the most famous icons is the Mendelian icon, which is a very old icon that started with the face of Christ on a cloth that was wiped by Jesus Christ himself, by Saint Veronica. So it's a very old icon, and it's called Mendelian. Mendelian also in Arabic means cloth. So it's the cloth of Jesus Christ. So as I said, every icon has its story, and you follow the rules, you follow the traditions to it. You have to know the symbols of every icon, the meaning of it, and that's how you write an icon.
So all the research, the things that you find out about that particular person, you can then put it into the painting.
Exactly, yeah. Now, just like you mentioned, you can be sometimes creative in your icon, but you can't just go on and paint your own icon. You have to follow the traditions or the rules. Yes, you can be creative in the icon, but you have to follow the traditions as it is. So You can change some things in the clothes and maybe in the face, but you have to follow the rules.
What kind of paints do you use? Do you get paints locally here? Do you use gold as well?
Actually, yes, we use gold, and we use now the pigments we use are very different. They're not artificial, they're very natural. They're from rocks, and they're smashed into powder, which is pigments, and we mix it with egg tempera and sometimes with vodka, and that's what makes an icon last for many ages. Now, the thing is, we get our pigments from the Holy Land, sometimes from Israel, and we sometimes did our own pigments. We got some rocks from the Dead Sea. We smashed them. We did it, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of work. So sometimes we get them from Israel, other times from England, but they're usually cheaper in Europe. So we try to get them from over there. So the gold too. It's gold leaves actually, and we get it from Europe. And so the whole process has to be natural. That's what I was talking about. So the pigments, they're not artificial, they're all natural. With the wood, starting from the wood, which is natural, to the pigments, to the egg tempera, to the gold. So everything has to be natural when you paint an icon, because it gets you closer to God.
So the icons are painted here in Bethlehem where Jesus was born, but do they go all around the world?
Yes. Actually, we sell icons to churches, to individuals from all around the world. Actually, we did 3 icons in Lichfield Cathedral in the summer of 2016 and the summer of 2018. 2016, we did 2 icons of the angels, and another big one in 2018. We finished it with Jesus Christ. They're very famous in Lichfield Cathedral. And 5 of our students went there in the summer and worked with Ian also to finish them. And we also sent 1 icon to Pope Francis in Rome, and it's there in Rome with the icon of Jesus Christ. So yes, we sell icons to many churches and many individuals around the world.
How long does it take to paint an icon from start to finish?
Actually, Paul, it depends on the painter himself, on the painter and what they do with the paint and their talent, their experience and everything. So, for a very talented iconographer, a big one, a very big icon might take like 2 months or 3 months. Small icons might take 1 week or 2 weeks. It depends on the painter, on the size, on the gold, on the persons and the icon itself. Like if you have many people, like let's say an icon of a boat with many people on it, in a sea, it would take longer. But an icon of Jesus Christ, only with the face, it would be much easier and it would take less time.
Now you're right here on Star Street. Tell us a little bit about the street where you're based.
Actually, Star Street is one of the most famous streets in all of the Holy Land, because it was the only street for people to get to Bethlehem and to get to the Nativity Church. So it is believed that the 3 wise men that were mentioned in the Bible actually crossed this street, the Star Street, to get to where Jesus was born, which is now the Nativity Church. And it's very famous, and now we're trying to renovate the street. Everyone is working here trying to renovate the streets, individuals, organizations, the municipality, everyone, to bring it back to the old way and how it used to be.
Is iconology a dying art?
Well, Paul, let's hope not, because the thing about iconography is that it's not interesting to many people. People are more inclined to free art. People who love to paint love more free art, but it's more for religious people, so they can get closer to God. As I said, it's a kind of prayer. But here in the Icon School, we try to make it interesting to everyone. We have people from all faiths here, people who are religious and other people who are not very religious. So we try to make it more as a kind of art, but yet still sacred, still very closer to God, so they can be more open to all kinds of arts and yet still enjoy iconography.
Tell us a little bit about the courses that you run.
Actually, we have different kinds of courses. We have the local course, which is for locals here. Also, foreigners can enjoy that course, but they have to be living in the country to enjoy it, because it's like 6 months a year and it continues. It doesn't end, because iconography is a big art and you have to study it for many years to be professional in it. So that's one of the courses. We tend to make it less pricey and not very paced, because it's for people who can't afford pricey courses, and so they can also enjoy it. One of the other courses we used to have is the diploma course, which is associated with the Princess School of Traditional Arts. Actually, that course stopped, but we tried to bring it back, and we're talking to people in England, so hopefully we can get it back. This course is for 2 years, very intensive, and after it, the graduates get a degree from the School of Traditional Arts in London, and they start working here as junior iconographers. And actually 3 students who graduated from that course work with us, and they are junior iconographers and they do commissions. And the last course we do is the 1-week course, which we get iconography lovers from all over the world to study for 1 week, very intensive, 9 till 5, the whole week. And after 1 week they finish an icon and it get blessed. And this is one of our very interesting and popular courses, because we get people from all around the world, and compared to other courses in the world, it's not very expensive.
Is this making a difference in Bethlehem?
I hope so, Paul, because we're trying to be different. We're trying to, foremost, help the Christian community here. We don't just do art. We do prayers. We try to help people. Sometimes we have community evenings here for people to come and socialize. We sometimes do lectures for people here, and lectures are open for everyone. Anyone can join the school. They can also visit us anytime. They can join us and start painting. And students are encouraged to come every day and paint, even if there are no courses. So we're trying to help the community, help Bethlehem, and help Christians to bring back the glory that this city had many years ago.
What's your prayer for the future?
Well, I hope that peace can come to this place. We've been torn by war for many centuries now, and it's still going on. When you walk through the streets, you can feel the uneasiness going on around it. So we try to make it more peaceful with prayers, with iconography. So maybe our number one priority is bring peace back.
Okay, Nadeem, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.